All right, Cameron, we're ready when you are.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us for tonight's post-match press conference. Coach, we will start before we go to questions from Jorge and Phil with your thoughts on the match.
Obviously weren't up to speed with the game. Certainly as the game went on, it became an undoing of our own, I think, in a lot of ways. We got exposed in transition. Obviously, set pieces, we knew about it. We lost responsibility on those as well in the first one. The guys obviously put in a lot in the second half to grab goals. I mean, sadly, we could have scored many more goals, but you're down by 2-3 goals. It's too late. I think you got to start the right way. You have to show the resiliency and the grind when it's difficult. The goal at the end of half and the goal at the start of half, it's become a little bit of an issue. So, we certainly got to correct these things. We know we have a big game next weekend, and this wasn't good enough in any regards.
Thanks, Coach. We'll go now to media questions. Phil, go ahead and start us off.
Yeah. First, a quick injury clarifier. Urruti, was that a concussion then? And was that a concussion sub that was used towards the end of the first half?
It was a concussion sub. Yeah.
Okay. And then you had talked in the break about individual defensive mistakes and needing to overcome that. And obviously that seems to still be an issue. Can you address what you saw and what might happen going forward?
I think you saw it right. I think that it was very similar. Letting guys dribble back inside is not what we want to see happening, and it happened certainly in Leagues Cup a few times as well, and we saw it again tonight. So it's defending, keeping the guy wide, making the goal smaller to help Brad, but there were a number of times we needed to do better in the individual aspect, but also the collective. And too easy. We're letting too many chances at this point. It seems like every shot's going in, so we're letting them get into too good of spots. And on the flip side, we certainly could take some of these chances a little better. We got 3, could have had again 5 or 6, but there's got to be more into this before you're down 3-1.
Thanks, Phil. We'll go to you now, Jorge. Go ahead.
Josh, what do you think happens with this team? I mean, you guys have like 20 days off.
Yeah.
20 days to prepare for this game. What do you think happens on these kind of games?
Yeah, I think I don't think there was a lot in it prior to the set piece. I think the goal happens and now there's an emotion to it. And our guys we have to find ways to respond to when things don't go our way. If you give up a goal, the reaction is the next action. The reaction is quite important. We talk about that often. It's doesn't have to be a goal. It can be a play, a mispass, a mistake. Where is the reaction? Where is the support from the players? I mean, I think that's a bit of what we talked about at the end of the game. It has to be better than what we did today. There's no excuse. Obviously, we tried to get a game before this to get us up to speed with what the game speed would look like and the intensity. And it took 60 minutes for us to really get there. I was pleased the guys that came in gave energy and intensity and certainly gave more quality to the group. We have to look at certainly making adjustments in the next game.
Hedges, I was watching the Spanish broadcast. Hedges went out just because of tactical, or he had something?
He was cramping. I mean, for Matt, part of it is getting him back up to speed. He hasn't played a ton of minutes this year. He's he was cramping. It was certainly heavy today. It was quite humid and warm, but it had more to do with the physical side for him.
And about, I mean, everybody, I don't think we can rescue that much, but can you tell me about Castantes tonight?
It was poor. Julio had a poor night. I think he would acknowledge that for sure.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
Thanks, Jorge. Phil, we'll come back to you.
Okay, yeah, I got a couple more. Zardes, obviously, kind of a rough night for him. Just kind of thoughts there. I mean, obviously, Berkey's a really good goalkeeper. Got him on a couple of those, but it looked like there were some chances in front of goal that he should have put away.
I think you said it exactly right. I think Berkey makes a couple of good saves, but there's a couple in there that we should be taking. Some of these shots are inside the 6, and Berkey's a good goalie, but these are some opportunities I think Josian and others would like to have back. And not to say you expect the game to be 6-6, but I think you have opportunities to score more goals. And obviously we're playing with a lot of risk at that point to try to get back into it, but we changed the structure, put different personnel out there, play with 2 strikers, and obviously the rearrangement for us that helped us in the offensive manner. But we knew we were gassed and stretched, and the transition was challenging to manage as they brought on fresh legs, but obviously we created chances. Something we'll look at actually, bringing on two strikers, playing Seba underneath those guys. It was more of our 3-2-2-3 or 3-2-1-4 structure. It certainly gave us gave us quicker solutions and caused them a lot of problems.
Okay, and then Ring had to come back on as a center back tonight. Any word on Bison and when he might be activated? And if so, do you think Ring in midfield might help catalyze some of what they need to do on offense?
Yeah. I mean, I think the idea was we knew what we could use Alex. I mean, for Kip, I wasn't, the emotional side of it. I didn't want Kip to have to deal with it. We talked earlier in the week about it. So we brought him on the trip to be here. He's from here. But obviously that's not ideal to use Alex there. I spoke to him prior to the game about that possibility if Matt was physically unable to make it. So he did a good job. He will be, we want him to be in the center, and as a center mid for us. So going forward, that's the goal. Leo is on the field. He's training. This was his first 3-4 days with us this last week training. So we're hopeful another good week of training can put him in a place. I'm not sure if he makes it for the Dallas game, but he's been out 14 weeks. So he was able to play 11v11 for about 12 minutes this past week. So the progress is being made. Obviously he's been out for a long time. We want to be mindful of it. Emmy was similar. He and Giassi got in the latter part of last week. So, they had about 30 minutes. Maybe we could have stretched them for 45, but they're going to be physically in a place where they got to keep getting minutes to get back up to speed. But they're all, by and large, everybody's healthy except for Kamanic.
I have a couple quick ones. Your thoughts about Memo Rodriguez?
I think he did okay. I think at the beginning, he was having a tough time defensively preventing the middle. Not that it led to anything, just a little bit of stress for the group. The save Berkey makes on him is tremendous. I think he does a good job running behind the line. And, that for us was a big talking point. We know it's not his nature necessarily to run behind the line, but he needs to fulfill that as a winger. And he's got to get up to speed with his teammates. But the chance that he had, I thought was quite good. Set piece service, he's usually quite good with that, but he's gonna need time to familiarize with the group as well. CJ Fodry is another guy that we'll be able to use out there, and Emmy, as he gets up to speed, will have some different qualities, different traits to use in that space.
And the last one, I tried to research. I don't remember a day when we received 6 goals.
No, that's it. This is the first.
This is the first time. What were your thoughts? The final thoughts?
Yeah, it's disappointing. It's very, very disappointing. Obviously, there's a few in there that are questionable in a lot of ways. Brad, I think, is obviously trying to do a lot with the 6th one. He's trying to maybe squeeze a little bit more out of the play than he needed to. But I understand that he's trying to get us the ball up the field as quick as possible. But it's too many. Like I said, each attack, it seemed like they scored. Each shot they were able to get seemed to go in. So individual defending, you've asked already. I think a number of players can do much better. But collectively we have to, you got to live and die as a group. And when it's a night like tonight, you're going to need to dig in and make plays at both ends of the field. And we could have done much, much better in both of those areas.
Thank you, Josh.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Josh, for joining us. Jorge and Phil will be joined in just a second by Will Bruin. And we don't have a ton of time as these guys got the flight to catch. So I think we'll start with 2 from whoever wants to go, and then 2 after that, and we'll do a time check.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine. I mean, I want to write and get this pubbed anyway.
Cool.
So, yeah. I mean, it's mostly written. I'm just plugging in quotes at this point.
Pro show.
Pam, do you know when Memo is going to be available for talking?
We can grab him this week if you want for the weekly one.
Well, that will be good. Will be Thursday, or when do you guys have the plan?
I'm not sure yet. My guess would be Thursday, though.
Okay, sounds perfect.
Yeah.
Ready when you are, Cam.
All right, Will, thanks for joining us. We've got Phil West and Jorge Duralde here with us back in Austin. Phil, Jorge, whoever wants to start us off can go first. Phil, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So first of all, obviously you get to score a goal in your hometown. Obviously it's a disappointing match, but just kind of on a personal level, obviously, just kind of thoughts about what that's like, kind of the emotions around that, even though it's set against a pretty difficult historic loss for the club.
Yeah, all things considered, it was a very, anytime you get up 6 goals, that's a bad loss. But on a personal level, like, and this is my 13th year in the league, coming back to St. Louis, prepping for a game is pretty surreal. Kind of seeing it, the league full circle almost. So that was cool. But at the end, it's a business trip, and we didn't take care of business.
Right. And then I think this is the longest that you've played so far this year. I think this is the longest since a start that you had in September. So just kind of where are you at in terms of your fitness, your conditioning, and just continuing to try to gel with the rest of the team?
Yeah, honestly, it's been for me this whole year. It's kind of, I've been trying to play catch up from a fitness perspective, because you can't really emulate game fitness from trainings or anything. You got to get minutes. I think the scrimmage we had during the break was good for me to get game minutes under my belt. So that helped a lot, just with sharpness and game fitness. And I actually felt pretty good out there for the 45 minutes tonight. Even though it was human stuff, there were moments of tiredness, but I felt good.
Thanks, Phil. Jorge, over to you.
Yeah, well, what were your thoughts on the field? Because every time you guys score to get closer, San Luis is scoring again. What were those thoughts on, between you guys?
Gut punches. On the attacking side, I think we could have had 6-7 goals, honestly. Every time we put ourselves in a hole, we go down 2-0, 3-0. We score 3-1. We have chances to make it 3-2. We go down 4-1. It's tough. I think, we had a good discussion internally about it. Our reactions need to be better. We give up goals, bad passes, things happen. We got to move on. We got to stand up and be men and take accountability. And, nobody needs to take things personal. It's a game where we're all, it's our jobs to play well and react well and have good attitudes. And I think sometimes we put our heads down a little too much, but I think we did a good job addressing it after the game. And I think it was a tough message, a tough game that we took. So I think we're going to grow from this for sure, but it just can't keep happening.
The last 3 games, they were like really bad. I think this was the worst. And how do you guys recover so soon to face Dallas on Saturday?
Yeah, we're going to go back and we're going to watch the game. My initial thoughts are, a lot of their goals were very direct. Goal kicks, long balls that they play, they flick on, just 1v1 battles around the field that we just didn't win. They finished their chances. That's the thing. They finished their chances. They had 6 goals, I think 6 chances. Like it's tough. The game opened up in the second half, but we just need to have more accountability against the ball, everybody, more accountability and goal scoring chances, everybody. It's a game of chances. It's a game of moments. And St. Louis took their chances. We gave them too many chances. We kind of, we let the game get open, and that's just, we get punished.
Copa Texas is extra motivation?
Huh?
Copa Texas is an extra motivation?
Yeah, for sure. This one right now, this is, I don't think this is a game that we just say we move on from. I think this has to hurt because we gave up 6 goals. We scored 3 goals on the road. Like you tell me you're scoring 3 goals on the road, that's pretty good. But we gave up 6 goals. So I think we need to address that. And then, like you said, Copa Tejas it doesn't get any easier. Games are going to come fast and thick, and it's getting down to the nitty gritty. Every game from here you got to treat it like a championship game. It's 3 points, because these points now, every point matters. And especially when you get into the final stretch of the season, every single point matters. Whether it's Copa Tejas, whether it's, a Eastern Conference game, on a Wednesday night, all these points are going to add up at the end of the year. We can't just keep dropping points.
Thank you. Have a nice trip back.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate the time. Will, thanks for joining us.
Safe travels. All right,
Bye-bye.
thanks.